So in order to find the client instance, it would be preferable to open up your creative inventory and search for the category that we're currently in as a string using Cheat Engine. Make sure writable is checked as a tick. Leave the scan options here and simply search for equipment, and then switch category and search for the new one we're in. And we want to break it down to 4 results, and if we highlight all of these, Control A, we can highlight them all and then press this to add them all here. And then we need to find out what accesses these addresses. So we want to look for a single instruction that's ticking on its own. It's definitely not any of these. I know for a fact that it's this third one down here. As you can see, it's a single instruction ticking on its own. If we check this last one, there's nothing here. It's always the third one down, which is this one ending in D8 here. And if we close this, find out what access is. It's one instruction looking exactly like this, moving bytes to whatever this is. So stop this, and showing the disassembler, we can close this. We want to keep this inventory open while we do this process. So right click, select current function, and we jump to the top here, but this isn't what we want. So we need to set a breakpoint, toggle it, step out, run the previous breakpoint, and we repeat this process. So we select the current function. It's not this. It will look like the previous instruction we just had, that racks thing. So we toggle the breakpoint again, we step out, we run, select current function, toggle, step out, run, select current function, and we do this one more time, I believe. Run, select current function, and this here should be the UI render context. If we toggle the breakpoint again, run it a few times, this racks. If we right click here on the racks, it will copy it to our clipboard. We keep the breakpoint set, add the address, paste it there, and this ending in CO is this one here. So we essentially paste this in. Now this address here is currently the UI render context, but we can only access it this way by keeping this breakpoint. If we stop this breakpoint, the pointer it leads to keeps changing. So if we want the client instance this way, we need to keep the breakpoint set. We double click and we add +8 like so, because in memory there's UI render context, and then we've got we have a V table at OX0, and then we have client instance at OX8, because a unsigned a pointer fills up 8 bytes essentially. So this would be the V table, which leads to the V table pointers. So when we define this, next to it should be client instance. So you can essentially just create a class client instance somewhere else, and even if you don't want the V table here, we can just add a padding of 8 to fill that up, as long as 8 bytes is here first, so we can index the client instance at offset 8, and then that will lead to the client instance. So if we go back to here, 8, and we set it as a pointer, and we copy this, copy. Now we have the client instance, but we need to keep this breakpoint set to copy it, because when we run it again, it will keep changing. But we already pasted the client instance, so this is our client instance here, which was the one we just copied from the index of set 8 from the UI render context. So now we have this. We then want to create a pointer to this, so I'll send you these, but we need to do get address. I forgot whether these are apostrophes or not, I'm quite sleep deprived, but we do minecraft.windows.exe, and we just copy this, press OK, and then do it again. So we've got this again, plus get module size, and we just fill in minecraft.windows.exe with, I think, the single quotes or apostrophes or whatever you want to call it. So we only want to observe the addresses here. These are our base addresses for our first pointer scan. So now we have the client instance, we can delete all these previous records. So we have the temporary client instance. You want to keep this in memory view so we can keep indexing. So you want to right click the client instance. You want to pointer scan for this address, but just close that if this stretches out. Move it to the right so we can see these addresses. Pointer scan, scan for pointer. You will have the address here. Set this to 7000, and tick this and fill in this first, so 7FF 65987, and I believe that's 4 zeros, and then 2, which is the module size, so 7FF 65F86, and that's 4 zeros. So now we have the range for our pointer scan, and we can click OK here, and I'm just gonna make a new folder to show you. So client instance pointers, and we're just gonna call this client instance -1 and click OK. Let this do its job, let it scan for a few moments. Give it one moment. Okay, there we go. Keep this open, hover over here, go back to Minecraft and simply close the game, and then reopen the game, and we can actually do this from the main menu now because we have the function here. So we can, once the main menu loads, we can toggle the breakpoint again, toggle. It's still locked, so we copy this again, and then we go to our pointers. Actually no, we go here and we do this, we paste that in +8 pointer, and we copy everything in here, and then pointer scan, rescan memory, paste that in, OK, and we just want to rename this to 2, and then run this to stop the debugger from locking on. Close Minecraft one last time, and we essentially just want to do this for 3 or 4 times. I'd say a third time is the charm. So if we go back to the debugger here, toggle the breakpoint one last time, toggle it again, copy the rex, offset, we can go here, paste that new one in, copy this to our clipboard, and then go to here, rescan memory, paste that in, and then update this to 3, and this will give us a much shorter list than before. Stop the debugger, and I think you want to click offset 3, no, offset 2. Okay, and then we can stretch out the base address. The base address is essentially what we want. We can double click both of these, close the debugger. Now we have our 2 pointers with the least offset, 0.58. If I go to my latest project and scroll down to Minecraft, we are using 0.5800. This signature is quite large, but we want to go to any instance of IDEA that you might have. If you need any of the links for any of this stuff, I will send them happily. So once we have IDEA open, you want a instance of minecraft.windows.exe. Obviously we don't have the runtime type information, but we know what we're looking for, so we open up the Windows client in IDEA, and 0.5800, this one's 10. Okay, so we want 0.5800. All we need to do is after the 0 we copy this to our clipboard. So cut or copy, cancel. Now we have this in our clipboard, and we need to wait for the executable from Minecraft to load up, and once we do that, give me a minute because it's taking its time. Okay, so we press G on our keyboard to jump to an address, and I think we put 140 and then paste, or it's 14 paste. Okay, so 68. Okay, so we jump 14, so 14, and then paste, and that gives us this vtable, I guess, or offset. Yes. So we right click and we jump to an xref, and the goal is to look at the offsets here. So I would say something around this one, or maybe yes. And then when we get to here, you need a plugin like a signature plugin, or we could just go to the hex view and copy the individual bytes. So we start off here, and then we can grab these, then D1, and then the ones under it, and then if we copy these, delete this, look for an array of bytes, memory scan options, Minecraft, writable off, scan these bytes, and we double click this, we copy, well we cut, and then memory view, and we go to address, we paste that in, and it gives us this offset here. So essentially these bytes, we can look for a signature for these bytes, or preferably if you have a signature scanner for IDEA, You can also do this one, the shortcut is Control Alt and S, or I think I forgot where it is. Yes, so Edit, Plugins, SIGMaker, and then Auto Create IDE Pattern while having your mouse cursor here, and then, or you can simply create your own bytes like I just did from the hex view here, which jumps to this address here, but I believe, yeah, 2CD it ends with, and then it's right here. So that is how we create the signature, and then we can use a multi-level pointer function to add the offset. So our signature represents the bytes we just did, which leads to here. When we grab this, if we copy this, we can create a pointer, paste that there, so 0, 58, 0, and I think it was another 0. Yes, so that is essentially what we're doing. When we grab those, the signature, they lead to this, then we index the offset within this instruction, which we essentially put here, and then we add the offsets ourselves, which do not tend to change much as the game updates. And then we get the address here, which if you look at my pointer scans, the address is still the same. So I hope this helps, as well as helps you find the UI render context if you plan to ever use the games renderer as well. But I will leave all the links for IDA, the plugin maker, and yeah, okay.